I have been extremely impressed with a couple of Kansas City Chiefs rookies, and I believe Steve Spagnuolo has done such a good job kind of implementing these guys into the defense and getting them to a point where they just stand out. And one of them is Ashton Gillotte, but another one is Jeffrey Bassa, who only played in 4 snaps last game, but was in on every single one of them. We're going to break down some of the film, and this first one is from Ashton. He's going to be playing in a 5 technique to the outside shoulder of the right tackle. You can even say it's a 7-eye because he's on the inside of the tight end. But either way, does a really good job here getting outside leverage, hooking through, and creating this quarterback, Marcus Mariota, to feel pressured in the pocket. Now, what's important about this play is whenever we can generate pressure on the quarterback, you can actually create one of 6 different scenarios, whether it's a bad pass by the quarterback, maybe it's a bad decision by the quarterback, maybe it's interception, maybe you get the sack, maybe you get a forced fumble, maybe you even draw a holding call, which right here could have been a holding call. At least in my opinion, I think that this guy hooks up top, is holding around that shoulder pad, but ultimately they do apply a little bit of pressure and flush him outside the pocket. Now, from here, right, we flush him outside the pocket. Gillotte does a good job getting back around, chasing him down a little bit. And again, this is where we can force bad throws. Now, ultimately, Ashton isn't able to get the sack, but he is able to slow him down a little bit, let their other guys get there, and then guess what? Throws an interception, bad throw, great interception by, I believe, Cochran, but also Charles Omenihu and Ashton both get that pressure. Great job by this defense, and that's what happens when you have good rushers getting to the quarterback. And you got guys like George Karlaftis, who actually had 9 pressures in this game. If you guys want a whole video on George Karlaftis, let me know. Also, Mike Dana, you have Jerry Tillery, who had 3 pressures. You had Ashton. They had a bunch of guys just applying pressure to the quarterback, man. And Chris Jones, obviously, Charles Omenihu. They did a great job, man. This D-line is ferocious. Now, we're going to break down a ton of film. Before we dive in, hit the like button. Let's dive in. Now, I am a big fan of Jeffrey Bassa. I believe that's how you say his name. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But as a guy that can do multiple things, a good tackler in space, can play in zone coverage because of his speed for the most part. He just does a really good job. And you see him kind of in this hook curl over the middle of the field. You got 2 seams that are kind of matching with it. But he's just reading the quarterback. And as they get a little bit of pressure here, you see, guess who? Ashton Gillotte will break down his play on this as well. But you see him just reading the eyes of the quarterback. Once he gets outside the pocket, someone's got to overcommit down. The play here is send this guy down, send this guy over, because usually when a quarterback is scrambling or bootlegging to one side of the field, their passing lane is cut down in half, usually even a third at times. So the ball is not going to really go over here unless someone is completely wide open, right? So we kind of rotate this defense perfectly, and as Jeffrey Bassa gets down, he's going to go for the football, force a fumble. It does go out of bounds, but a really good job by Jeffrey Bassa. We'll watch it one more time from the Jeffrey Bassa standpoint. But Ashton Gillotte, same thing, great job. As we get low, we're going to see him just go for the football. You see his outside arm. You're going to see him just go for the football, knock that thing loose. Unfortunately, his helmet knocks it out of bounds. But, dude, he played 4 snaps. He played 4 snaps, and he could not have been a better player. I think he had 3 tackles in 4 snaps. And he also had 1 target. He did allow 1 completion, to be fair. But, dude, he's a beast. Now, let's go back. Let's look at Ashton Gillotte. So, it looks like he is in a 5 technique, outside shoulder of the tackle. They also have someone lined up right over him as well, wide 5. But here we go. We're going to get outside leverage here. Oh, look at the break inside. Look at the break inside here, right? Gets outside leverage, gets all the weight onto the outside foot of this tackle as we kind of rip through here, get to the inside, and actually we're the ones to initially flush him outside the pocket. So, Gillotte, great job here as well. I'm telling you, some of these rookies are playing a lot better than rookies, and they do it a lot. They have a bunch of guys, and Steve Spagnuolo does a perfect job developing these dudes into just really good players. Really good players. Another good rep. And then Jeffrey Bassa, boom. Love it. Love it. The NBA season is officially back, which means we all have a chance to over 1000x our money using the sleeper app this year, and that is what I am using, at least for the opening couple of days and weeks and months of the NBA season this year. You guys need to get in on the action as well. And again, if you want to over 1000x your money, this is the place to do it. Now, first things first, I want to give you my pick, but I do want you guys to know if you use my promo code DUBS, you'll get a $100 match on your first deposit, which means if you put in 100, they'll give you 100. If you put in 50, they'll give you 50 to use, right? That's amazing. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in about 25 different states. Make sure you check out Sleeper. Let's get into my pick. So I'm going to go more than a double or half a double-double for Zubac. I love this line here versus Utah. Honestly, I think it's a lock. I'm also going to look at Giannis, and I actually want to see, do they have him for a potential double-double? I don't see it on here. Oh, right here, yeah. I'm going to go more. I think he's going to get at least 10 rebounds. You know he's going to put up 10 points. I love that as well. Jaylen Brown, right? We know Jason Tatum's out. I think he's going to be really good. 30 PRA. Let's go more than 30 PRA. Anything else you want to throw in there? I like Michael Porter to score some points today. His alt line, it's at about 19.5. Will he score 20 versus Charlotte? I think he really could. Is there anything else I really, really love in here? I do like Jalen Johnson. We go like rebounds, assists, maybe. First quarter rebounds. Don't love it there. You know what? I'm going to keep it at that. I like what I have. I'm going to put in, and I have a profit boost on it. So I like that. 20 to win, 57. But I'm so confident in this, I'm actually going to put 30 on it. 31.63. I don't mind that at all. Let's do it. Put that in. Let me know what you guys are doing for Sleeper. Again, check it out. Use promo code DUBS. Get that match deposit. Let me know what you guys do tonight. Here's a play where they just get an inside zone to Jeremy McNichols. Now, he does a really good job planting, okay? Now, you see this massive gap opening up pretty much right away. But as a second-level linebacker, these guys are usually taught to read and react before they overcommit to certain gaps. Because what ends up happening is, let's say he was to attack that gap right away, that cutback lane is always the most dangerous thing in football. And if we allow our guy to hit that cutback when, right, you're supposed to be the second level of this defense, not good, not good. So instead of that, he breaks down. He waits for the running back to make a decision. Also, you also have the outside threat of the quarterback potentially keeping the ball. Now, we know the running back gets it, so we sit, we wait for him to make his decision, and then look at this. He contains the outside knowing he's got guys breaking loose on the inside, right? Containing this side. I mean, there's nothing you can do here. Just does a really good job getting to the outside or the inside shoulder of the offensive line, and then just is there to wrap him up through a block as well. Okay, that's the most impressive thing about it. He tackles this dude through a block. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's how you draw it up. Late in the game, so he did allow one catch, but they're in a very soft zone coverage here. And what that means is get about 6 yards back from the line of scrimmage, and they're just going to run this little stop route to the running back. So yes, he does allow a catch, but ultimately, because of the zone that we're in, trying to prevent the deep ball or up the seams, I wouldn't even say this is his fault. Breaks down, makes a good tackle. Yeah, they pick up 9 yards, but that's the defense that we're playing in. Because it's so late, because they're up 28-7, they're not really concerned about you taking 8-9 yard dump downs. They're just not. Clock's going to run, stay in bounds. All right, so they're not really too worried about this. Last flow breakdown before we end it. Ashton Gillotte playing on the inside shoulder, or actually playing in a 7-eye on the inside shoulder of the tight end here. They're in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back in the backfield. And watch Gillotte on this play. Does a really good job alongside Nick Bowling, getting inside leverage, breaking through right away. What a move by Ashton. I mean, when you put a tight end on him, you don't expect to win that matchup as an offense, especially if the combo block is not there. He breaks through, helps out with the tackle. They pick up maybe 1 to 2 yards on that play. But I'm excited about Jeffrey Bassa. I know he's not playing great snaps right now. That's okay. Time will tell. It will happen. And then also Ashton Gillotte. These 2 rookies, they're not playing 40-plus snaps a game. But I'll tell you what, they will be. At some point, maybe not this season, But you could tell the future is bright for those two dudes. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.